petition for one of our local bridges to be named for a postmaster that was in Ranger. And we have with us today Mr. Josh Stowers from the West Virginia, he's a West Virginia House of Delegates member, and we also have the Lincoln County Commission with us, and we also have Mr. Adkins' family with us. So we're going to let them introduce themselves because I'm not sure of everyone's name, and then there will be a presentation made with from Mr. Stowers to the family of Mr. Adkins. So if everybody's ears and eyes are focused, at this time we will let each person introduce themselves so that you will know who the people are and you will be able to put a name with a face. Ms. Crum, do you have anything you'd like to add? Yeah. So you guys want Mr. Adkins' family.
I'm the youngest son. I'm dating Adkins.
I'm Aster's daughter, Odessa. I'm the middle child.
I'm one of the many grandchildren of Dennis Adkins. I'm another grandchild of Dr. Adkins.
County Commissioner Thomas Rand. County Commissioner Gerald Smith.
Hi, guys.
Tracy Gibbs, Lincoln County Assessor.
And I'm Josh Towers. I'm served in the House of Delegates. Well, good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
Like I said, I'm Josh Towers. I serve in the House of Delegates, and there's a couple things I'd like to just talk to you about real fast. Is one, yes, we're going to present a resolution to the family of Mr. Adkins. But first, I wanted to talk to you about a couple things about how this came to be, because it wasn't just that we all just decided to come here today and have an event with you guys here. There was a process that was involved. And it was a little bit mixy at times, but we're going to do a couple things to fix some things as well. First off, what some individuals wanted to do, I believe in the 4th grade class and Mr. Adkins' family, was to name a bridge. And you guys travel all around the place, you see bridges everywhere. Some of them have names on it, some of them don't. Well, you figure out how do you get a name on a bridge. Well, what basically happens is somebody that wants to name a bridge can come to one of us, one of the members in the legislature. You have 4 members in the legislature that represent you in Lincoln County. And what we can do is we can go and we can name a bridge by issuing what's called a resolution. And we can pass that through the legislature and have a bridge name. Well, what happened was the bridge that wanted to be named originally, the Ranger Bridge right here, we had a petition sent to us way back late fall, before I even knew who Mr. Adkins was. And we had already started the process to name that bridge. And so later on this spring, that bridge is going to be named for some of the veterans that served here in Ranger. But what we're going to do to fix that issue is I've talked with Mr. Adkins' family, and we are going to name the bridge at Lick Fork next year for Mr. Adkins. Now, one of the reasons I was really interested in this is because, one, I'm involved in schools too. I'm an assistant principal. Some of you might look at assistant principals and think we're all mean, and that's not true. But I'm an assistant principal, and I always like to see the effort that kids make, that you guys make. I like to see that effort paid off. And so it's really important to me that we find a way to make this right, because you wanted a bridge named for Mr. Adkins. So like I said, we're going to name a bridge for Mr. Adkins. But also, because we couldn't name the bridge that you wanted to, because we'd already gone through the process to name it through somebody else, I went and talked to the governor's office. I went and talked to the governor himself. And I said, I've got to do something here to make this right this year. We're going to try to name a bridge next year, but I want to do something that's going to make this right for this year. And so Governor Roy Tomlin, he said, well, here's what we can do. We can name Mr. Adkins a distinguished mountaineer. which is something that very few people have the honor of being named a Distinguished Mountaineer. And so I got some information from the family about, well actually from Ms. Crump about Mr. Adkins. Took it down to the governor's office, and that's what I'm going to read you today. This is an official proclamation from the governor himself. And so, without further ado, what I'm going to do is I'm going to read the proclamation, and I'm going to give it to the family. And just as a side note, if the family wants more copies of this, I can get that for you, okay? So that's what we're going to do right now. This is from the office of Governor Ray Thomas. Whereas Aster C. Adkins was born August 21st, 1913, and was a resident of Ranger, West Virginia. And whereas Aster C. Adkins was an employee of the U.S. Postal Service, and during the Christmas season would dress up as Santa Claus to hand out candy to children. And whereas Aster C. Atkins was a member of the Ranger United Baptist Church and served as the choir director for more than 35 years. And whereas Aster C. Atkins was instrumental in building a road from Gill, West Virginia to Ranger, West Virginia. And whereas Aster C. Atkins was very involved in his community, delivering commodities to families who did not have transportation. And whereas Aster C. Atkins was a caring and giving individual, a respected member of his community, and his dedication and commitment to others served as a great example to us all. Therefore, I, Ray Thomas, Governor of West Virginia, do hereby present this proclamation in honor of Aster C. Adkins, and in loving memory do hereby declare him to be a distinguished mountaineer, given under my hand in the Great Seal of the state of West Virginia on the 19th day of April in the year of our Lord, 2011. Signed, Governor Ray Thomas. Here's what it looks like. Again, I'm going to present this to the family. And again, if you want additional copies, I can get that for you as well. So what I want you to do is I want you to, one thing, this to me had two purposes. One, we wanted to show how someone who is a good person, who served their community, who did good things for other people, who made sure that other people were taken care of, and was just out and out a good citizen, can be recognized by their community, not only their community, but by people even as high up as the governor. And that's something that you all should take to heart. That doing good things doesn't go unrewarded. But secondly, the good things that you as students don't go unrewarded. You actually made a commitment to try to make something happen. And I want to make sure that that happens, and we're going to make sure that happens. And I don't want you to think that any hard work ever goes unrewarded, because it will always be rewarded in some way, shape, or form. So with that, thank you guys for having us. I appreciate it. I look forward to making sure that we get the Bridget Lickford name for Aster Adkins. We'll have a presentation here sometime later next year to name that bridge as well. So thank you very much. I don't know if anybody else wants to say anything, but again, thank you very much.
Would you like to tell them a little bit about what the children did, other than when Mr. Adkins had called me and asked me if the fourth grade students, and also Mr. McCann had called and asked me if the fourth grade students would be interested in pursuing the request by Mr. Adkins last year. And last year it was right during West Test time, and we all know how busy we are when we're working on West Test. It's, you know, that's our focus, is getting those skills down for that testing. So we worked on it a little bit, but we didn't have time to complete it. That's why it didn't get to the legislature to be voted on last year, because we didn't quite have time. Well, this year my fourth grade students, I introduced this to him, and I said, you know, would you guys like to pursue this? And they said, yeah, sure. So what we did, we tried to find information. We did some research on the computer, and we looked at, you know, the job for the Postal Service. So we learned a lot about the Postal Service. We didn't find a lot of information out there available on the internet about Mr. Adkins because about 4 years, Mr. Adkins delivered the mail on horseback, which was, that's something that we don't even know about now. So my children learned, that how hard it was to deliver the mail, back when Mr. Adkins started working for the post office. We also wanted to have a personal, some more personal information, so the children could understand, because they don't know Mr. Adkins. So we invited Odessa to come down, and Odessa would share some stories with us. And all the things that are on the proclamation are stories that she shared with us. The children took notes, and they wrote letters then to the county commission. The county commission then invited us to come over, and we went over and actually sat through a meeting, and they learned a lot while we were over there. So it's been a really good experience for my fourth graders. They've enjoyed it. We hope that in years to come, we can continue this, and get our children more actively involved in our community, and because they can make a difference, and that's what I want them to understand. You can make a difference in your community. You can make a difference to make your community a better place to live. It takes all of us to be able to do that. And our officials that are elected by us are willing to help us do that. But it takes all of us together to be able to do that. So I'm very proud of these guys. They worked really hard. They did a lot of the stuff on their own time, and I'm very proud of them. So I'd like you to give fourth grade a round of applause.
Pam, you did a great job in fourth grade, certainly. You've done a great job for a long time making this thing happen. And it's really surprises you sometimes how much good can be brought about. Ranger probably is the smallest school in the county. And but if you look at what comes out of Ranger as far as good students, good programs, and good projects, it's unbelievable what they produce. It makes us proud of it as a commission, as people of Lincoln County. And you look down here at the park and the people put together, and just everything in the community. It has to be those things that the teachers and the parents come together and say, we want the best for our kids. And the kids that have certainly, I know the fourth grade has stepped up and done a super job. So we're just happy to be part of that. It's great to see the job that you guys are doing. I know that it has to be the work of parents and teachers, but it has to be the students that respond and do what they ask of us. So we're just glad to be part of it. Thank you.
I might not be a resident of Ranger, but when the students from this school came before the county commission and made the presentation asking us to join in the effort, it made me proud to be a part of Lincoln County and know these kids are a part of Lincoln County. I wish each of you could have been there when they presented before us. They were professional, very smart, and genuine. And as the others have stated, there's something important about place. The place where you live, the people that live around you, and to remember that while we live in a world that moves so fast and there's so many things that we try to keep up with, the only place that you can make a real difference in this world is the place where you stand on the earth. So the way you treat people around you and the way you treat people in your community and doing an issue such as this for the family, it's very important. And not only can you make a difference, you did make a difference. Thank you.
I'd like to thank the fourth graders for all their effort and all their hard work that they put into this for making this possible. To me, my dad was a great man. To me, he really was. And, he was a kind man. And whatever anybody would ask him to do, he would go out of his way to do it for him. He even, before the school bus started running from Gill to Ranger, he would get up at 6 o'clock in the morning a few years, and he would go to Aaron's Creek, and he hauled 10 kids to the Ranger Bridge to catch the bus to go to high school. And to me, that was beyond what he needed to do, but he loved life, and he loved children, and he loved the whole world. And I would just like to thank these kids for putting forth such an effort, and the county commission for what they've done. Thank you.
Is there anybody else?
Just want to get up and shake their hands and give them a hug.
Guys, please stay down. Does anyone else want to speak? I just want to say that I'm very proud of the children in the school. I'm not from Ranger, but my heart's in Ranger because I'm here every day and I may as well live here because these are my babies. And I'm very, very proud of them. And I take it very personal, as well as the teachers here, of how successful that they can be and how much that we give them the encouragement to be successful. And I really appreciate you coming out and being a part of this with us today. Our 4th grade class is a wonderful group of children. My entire student body is a fantastic group. We have lots of parent support. We have lots of teachers that are extremely caring and loving. And our children come to school in every school in this county, not only Ranger, but our students come to school with various needs. And it's our job as a teacher and as a principal to meet all those needs. And that's the one thing that we strive to do. It may not be the best, but we work to the best of our ability to meet those needs. And we are extremely proud of the success of all the children that come from Ranger. If you look at the valedictorians from past at Gang Valley, as well as the honor students at Lincoln County High School, I have babies that are there now, and I know how well they're doing. So I'm extremely proud that you took the time out of your day to come and share with us, but for my children to be recognized, because you could not find a community that is more caring and more loving and more supportive than this community that I live in now that's here. Ranger is part of my home, and I love the children here. And I take it very personal because I want them to be the best that they can be, and I want them to know there's a big world out there, and they can be part of it, and they can be very, very successful in any endeavor that they set their mind to do. So thank you very much. I appreciate you coming out. I think we need to use your father as a role model for all of us as people to be kind, considerate, and helpful to anyone that needs it. And I hope that you can see that within the children that we have here at Ranger, as well as the staff and the parents that work with us every day. So thank you very much for coming out and giving us part of your time. Have a great evening, and hopefully we will see you back again next year with the bridge. Thank you.